Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's Lions JV game. The JV team is going to be taking on the Milford Bearcats. I'm Kevin Quigley, along with Seamus Hanlon, and we're going to be bringing you the coverage tonight.
Salette Lions are coming off a 31-30 victory against Milford in overtime.
Against Danville, that was last week. It was a really impressive game. We saw some great play from especially stepped up, so we'll see it again. Number 11, Potter has for it, and that's going to be over and back, and the Lions. Starting 5 out to the lines alongside the with the shot right now. That's good. Get out there. Get out there. Now look at the save. In the corner. Missed shot. By Clutter, has it now. Deep to the paint. That goes off of both his hands. That was dangerous. The people there, if he had been able to hold on to that. Let's go. Get him. Driving in now. Back up. Kellerman is going to get the foul on that play as he was going for it. Let's go. And I think pretty soon in this game it's becoming clear that Milford, nice play down there. Kellerman almost leaves it, but doesn't. His pass off of Ryland's knee. Picks it back up to Ryland's knee. Turns it right over. Pass comes back down. Ryland catches that. Picks up his dribble. Whitehead there at the elbow. Doesn't take a shot. Nicholas Kellerman comes in. Pump fakes. Passes it back out. Seen by a mile away by the he gets his hands on it. Smacks it down. Right, takes the 3. No good. It's going to be back in the hands of Salette. So we're 2-0 in favor of the Lions.
What?
Bring up the court now, and it's such a different game compared to last Saturday against Danville. As fast-paced a game, not nearly as physical. Slow down a little bit and focus more on their offense. So this Tom needs to pass it quickly. Pass, get the goal, so it's a turnover anyway. Tries to block the shot out right, but he's going to be called for the foul. Right at the free throw line, his first shot is going to hit the rim a couple times and bounce out real good. Slide the ball into the game now for Nicholas Cullen, who struggled a little bit maintaining possession down in the paint. He was getting bottled up and then having trouble trying to make a good pass.
One more, no shots it!
Another team either getting particularly hyped or mad about anything right now. They're all kind of equally timid. This is JV, of course, so maybe some of them are very experienced, but at the same time they've been through almost the entire season, so you'd expect a little bit more noise. Bronner, nice move out to the corner. His three is good. Really good from the right line. I see him coming out. The 15 on three. Ball goes out to the wing now. Potter looking to drive in. He goes baseline, but he steps out of bounds. And it's going to be lost that ball again. Score 9-4 with a minute left in the first quarter. Ryland inbounds to Bronner. The Lions haven't been under any significant pressure this game. They've been able to set the pace of the game, and it's worked out for them so far. Ryland drives in now, shoots through a few hands, and almost gets his shot to fall, but it bounces out. Now Potter's going to take a three, and he's going to make it. Elijah Hall inbounds. Running down the court. Milford still in that man coverage, and that opens the paint wide open for Bronner, and he's going to draw the foul and make the shot. He gets the and one. That was a great play. Clock didn't stop on that last play, so now they're going to reset it. John Bronner at the line, taking advantage of that to get a few more practice shots in, albeit without the ball, but his real shot is up, and that's good. Bringing the score 12-7 in favor of the Lions. Bronner and Ryland both making it hard for the offense to get a pass off, but ball moves to the corner now, coming back around the arc. Runner's going to drive in. The ball stolen by Bronner. He has 8 seconds left. He drives in, doesn't see anyone, but then Sean Holman and Elijah were both just right there. Shot goes up, comes off the hands of Elijah. Sean goes for another shot, but no good. That was a little bit of a missed opportunity because Bronner drove in and sucked the defense in, but then he also brought in his two teammates on his side, converged on him, so he didn't have anyone to pass to. But the Lions definitely in control for the first quarter. They need to keep that up.
Yeah, it was a good quarter by the Lions, both offensively and defensively. Bronner at the end really started to make some good plays, driving down to the net, get the layup and draw a foul. A 3-point play.
Right, 3-point play to go along with his three-pointer. So he's got half the points for the Lions right now. Andrew Sick is going to come into the game now for Ryland. Ryland's going to get a little bit of rest. He played that entire quarter.
Milford's going to start with the ball, and they're going to throw it in. Potter's going to take it up. He's going to throw it to Wright, who takes a shot, doesn't miss, but it's tipped in by Potter.
That's not a play you see very often at all. I feel like we've had 2 of those with the jump ball called on the layup and then right there the tip in.
Nicholas Kellerman is going to throw it down to Ian Whitehead, whose pass is picked off by Clutter. Clutter's going to throw it to Wright. He's going to take the shot and makes it. Bronner gets it past the 10-second line. He's going to scramble and look for a play to Ian Whitehead. He's going to pass it back to John Bronner. John Bronner still looking for a pass. The Lions are trying to set up. He's going to give it to Sick. He's going to give it right back to Bronner again. The Milford defense is playing pretty good defense right now. But Ian White is going to get it down low to Nicholas, who drops the pass.
Shot from Milford, no good. Rebounded by Wright, who spins out of coverage and pass out to Potter. He's going to draw the foul on the push. Milford relatively quickly draws back within reach of the Lions. They're only down by 1 now, 12-11. John Bronner swats the pass, but it's going to stay Milford ball. But Milford definitely with the intensity in the second quarter.
Milford's going to inbound the ball. Right. Going to bring it to Clutter, who swings it back to Vogel, who misses a shot. Vogel takes a layup but misses, and Ian Whitehead's going to rebound it. John Bronner taking the ball up the court. Going to bring it down low to Elijah, but misses the layup. Ian Whitehead misses the shot, which is going to result in Milford getting the ball back.
Ryland almost pulls off the steal there. And then the shot by Runner's going to be no good and rebounded by the other number 25 on the court, Ben Blood, freshman, just came into the game as well.
Ian Whitehead going to pass the ball to Nicholas, but intercepted by Milford, but recovered by La Salette. Elijah Hall takes the shot and makes it. Clutter brings the ball past 10-second line. He's going to cross-court pass it to Vogel, who is fouled by Ian Whitehead.
Milford's inbound pass doesn't go to anyone, bounces on the floor a little bit before Bronner picks it up. Three-pointer from Milford, no good, and Bronner's going to bring up the court. Risky pass to Ryland because he was kind of bottled up, and he's going to travel as he tried to keep from stepping out of bounds.
Milford bringing the ball up the court. But La Salette gets the ball back, and Ryland with the jump shot, and it makes it. Milford cross-court pass, but intercepted by Benedict Blood.
Ryland with another fast, keeping their eyes up, and if they see someone on the other side of the court, they're not hesitating to throw it over their head and just throw it all the way across to whoever's open.
Ryland Hall inbounding the ball to John Bronner, who's going to immediately give it back, and La Salette's going to take the ball to the court. La Salette's getting set up, gets it down to Ian Whitehead. Back up top to Ryland. Ryland finds Ian Whitehead down low.
Father Carlisle's going to call the timeout with 2:25 left in the first half. La Salette still up by 5, but it doesn't seem like we've seen the offense perform well on every possession. There's been a couple where they've done well, but a lot of points and a lot of shots have come in transition, just moving up the court quickly. Almost all that coming from Ryland, but there have been a couple good possessions where they've moved the ball around, but I think Father Carlisle wants to see that a lot more, so that's why he's going to call that timeout. It's going to stay Lions ball, and they're going to get taken in from under the hoop. Ryland's going to inbound.
John Bronner on the top of the arc is going to find Nicholas. But back to John Bronner, who just misses the three.
And they're going to call that going out of bounds, hitting either out of bounds on the floor or maybe one of the supports on the backboard. I couldn't tell, but the referee gives the ball back to Milford. Shot taken by Wright. He's on the ground now holding his ankle, so he jumped up pretty high, and he might have landed a little bit weirdly. Referees call time to let the trainer come out and take a look. So right now there's a little over 2 minutes left in the first half. That's plenty of time to string together a couple of good possessions, maybe get another three from Bronner. That last one that he took it looked pretty good, but it didn't quite fall in. Wright is able to get up, and he comes off the court now, supported by one of his teammates. The ball's going to go back to Salette since they had just rebounded off the missed shot when the player went down. The Milford coach talking to his team right now, getting kind of a free timeout. A little bit of a chance to get a little bit of extra words out there to his team.
John Bronner didn't take the ball past the 10-second line. He's going to give it to Ian down low, who's kind of scrambles with the ball. Pass it to Bronner, but he's intercepted by Clutter, who takes the layup, but traveled. So it will be Salette's ball.
That's really a momentum killer for your team when you get a great turnover like that, but then you make a silly mistake like picking up your dribble too early on a wide open layup. Ryland's going to take a jump shot. That's too far. That's going to be off. Ian Whitehead tries to save it, and he does. That bounces through a couple players' hands and ends up in the hands of Elijah. He passed it to Kellerman to Ryland, and Ryland's going to get fouled on a shot. He's going to head to the line. Ryland's first shot up and off the rim. Ryland's pre-shot routine is pretty elaborate. He likes to dribble it 3 or 4 times and then spin it around his hands before he lets go of it, but neither of his shots fall, so score is going to remain 16-11. Milford's going to bring it in.
Milford bringing the ball up the court. Given to Tobert, who finds Vogel, who brings it back out to Runner. Bronner gets the ball, passes it to Ryland, who misses the layup, but Elijah is there to get the rebound and put it up for 2 points. Another interception by Salette's defense, but recovered by Salette. And Riley with another layup to bring the score 22-11, Salette.
And I don't know how many points Ryland has right now coming off fast breaks, but it's got to be getting close to double digits. I can think of at least 3 or 4 times where he's made it. Whitehead goes for the swat there, but he's off, and if the player hadn't shot for Milford, then he could have easily driven around him, but he does shoot a 3, and he does make it. 15 seconds left. Ryland to Bronner in the corner. Bronner passes back to Ryland. Elijah has it at the free throw line. Elijah going to drive in and take the last shot. It's no good. Kellerman was there but wasn't quite expecting it, so he has to rush his shot, and it's going to bounce off the front, no good. So, score going into halftime, 20-14. We'll be back in 10 minutes after halftime to bring you the second half of play. welcome back to the Lions JV game against the Milford Bearcats. We're about to get the second half underway. The score 20-14.
A good first half by the Salette Lions, having a lot of turnovers, and Rylan Tall with a lot of fast breaks, resulting in nice layups to put his team ahead.
And we also saw John Bronner with 1 3 and 2 other missed threes that weren't off by much, so he can probably dial that in a little bit more as the game goes on. The Lions out there with their starting 5, with the exception of Elijah Hall in for Nicholas Kellerman, and then Marco Cruz, the freshman, who made his presence felt as he went in and scored a layup. He came in for Ian Whitehead to start the second half. And then the Lions going to get their hands on that shot. Sean Holman pulls out rebound. Marco trying to pull in the pass. He gets the ball tipped out of his hands, and so it's going to go out of bounds, but remain with the Lions.
Again, in the third quarter, we're already seeing the Salette defense making Milford turn the ball over, and Salette getting the ball and being able to take it down and capitalize on it.
John Bronner now gets it at the top of the arc. Elijah with it now, backing his man down in the post, but doesn't get anything to come from it. Bronner's three-pointer is off to the right. I wasn't really watching him in the warm-ups in between halves to see if he was taking his threes. I assume he was, though. Elijah Hall tries to swat that one as Torbay goes up with it, but it's over his fingertips, and it's going to bounce off the glass and through the rim to make the score 16-22. Lions still up. Ryland tries a bounce pass, but it bounces off the Bearcats' foot, so the ball's going to go out of bounds, and then, or they're going to take it out of bounds. Ryland having trouble finding someone open, barely gets it to Elijah. Elijah pass to the cutting Marco, who puts up almost a miraculous shot from right under the basket that almost went in. It didn't, but Elijah was there to get the offensive rebound and put the layup in. Elijah fought for that rebound, didn't pull it down, but there was a foul. Referee says that the foul is on Milford. And he puts up one finger in each hand, signaling number 11. That's Potter. He gets subbed out of the game. But the coach is going to sub him right back in. He just wanted to tell him to play harder defense. Marco with it now at the wing. Goes down to the corner, gets a defender to jump up and creates an opening to pass to Bronner. Father Carlisle telling the offense to reset. Bronner dribbles left, passes in. Ball bounces around, then goes out of bounds. Going to stay with the Lions. Bronner with it now at the wing. Sees some open space on the other side of the court and dribbles over and gets the defense to come over with him. If the Lions offense can spread out to the sides because the Bearcats are in man coverage, then they'll open up the middle, and Bronner did that earlier in the game. He got the offense to move out and then just went right down the middle for a layup. Sean Holman's attempted jumper, one-handed jumper, is going to be tipped, and then there's going to be a foul called on the Lions. Potter taking the point guard role, bringing it up the court. Now Kluter with it. Dribbling across court, passes to Potter. Kluter calls for it, gets it, puts up a three. That's not going to be good. Sean Holman fights for the rebound, but it's going to touch his hands last and stay with Milford.
Nicholas Kellerman subbing in for Elijah Hall. Milford inbounds the ball to Runner, who is going to... John Bronner is going to pass it down to Marco Cruz. John Bronner is going to take a jump shot, but misses low.
That ball goes out of bounds. Sean Holman and Nicholas Kellerman were both there, wondering if they should try and jump into the wall to save it, but it was too far away and they couldn't reach it. So the possession stays with Milford. Torbay now dribbling, trying to penetrate, but Bronner stops him. Kluter from deep, he drains that one. Bronner brings it up the court, Lions up 24-19 by 5. Ryland takes a jumper with his defender in his face, but that bounces out. Kluter brings it across the 10-second line with 3 minutes left. Marco Cruz gets his hands on that ball and tips it out of bounds. Milford to inbound. Lions in their 2-3 zone defense send Marco Cruz out to the corner to take the ball handler, and he's going to force him to step out of bounds. Great D there to create the turnover and give the ball back to Salette. Bronner brings up the court, passes to Marco Cruz. Marco passes, a couple passes around the court to get the ball to Sean Holman. He was holding that ball low. He could have gotten that easily stolen, but he doesn't. Nicholas Kellerman struggling to maintain possession again. He's been having a lot of trouble with that this game. And it's going to be a jump ball. Milford's going to get the ball. 2 minutes left in the third quarter as Kluter brings the ball up the court for the Bearcats. Potter with it. He looks. Sees Runner down low, and he's going to shoot over Nicholas Kellerman's outstretched arms to get 2 points and bring Milford within 3. 3 can tie it for them. The Lions have been playing a little bit sluggish out there this quarter. They need to pick it up. Nicholas Kellerman swallowed by 4 players, and he still tries to go up and shoot. He's taller than all them, so he is able to draw the foul. Now he's just going to need to capitalize on his free throws. His first free throw off a little bit to the left. Referee passes him the ball now for his second shot. That shot is short that time, so he doesn't make either of his free throws. Lions back on D now. Potter tries to drive, but Sean Holman's right there to cover him. And John Bronner's going to hit the ball, and so it's going to stay with Milford, and it just seems like every time that the ball goes out of bounds, I don't even need to look at the refs to see who's going to get it, because the Milford coach points which direction he wants. He always wants it to go the way his team does, and that most coaches do that, but this coach just seems like he's always right. Like, it seems like every time he points, he's only pointing because he knows that it's going to stay his team's ball, and he's rarely wrong. Bronner with it now. Dribbles down the middle. LaFond was guarding him. He's shorter than Bronner. Bronner is in kind of the Steve Deister position from last year, where he's a short point guard and doesn't often play against players that are his height. But when he does, it's always an entertaining matchup to see who's going to be the better point guard. Andrew Sick's going to inbound now for La Salette. Potter on the breakaway. And none of the Lions are going to catch him. He's going to put that layup up. Clock didn't stop in between that shot as the Lions took a little bit of extra time to inbound. They bring it down now, only up by 1, 24-23. Andrew Sick gets it poked away twice, but doesn't turn it over. The Lions all on one side of the court except for Marco Cruz. Bronner trying to get something started. Drives in, pulls out, drives in again, then passes to Andrew Sick. 15 seconds left. Pass tipped by LaFawn, but recovered by Bronner. 8 seconds now. Sean to Bronner. Bronner for 3. That is good. He drains the 3 with 1 second left on the clock as Milford inbounds it. And LaFawn throws up a shot with one hand like a baseball throw. But that's short, so that does put the Lions up 27-23 on the Bronner three-pointer, his second of the game. That was a clutch shot right there from John Bronner. One final quarter of play left in this JV game. The Lions have only trailed once, and that was at the beginning of the game when they went down 1-4, but since regaining that lead, they've held it the entire game. Milford did get close just then at the end of the third quarter, but thanks to the shooting of Bronner, they're pulling back to make it right now a 2-possession game. Second buzzer sounds to signal the teams to come out of the timeout. La Salette's already out on the court. Same 5 players are staying out there. Marco Cruz has been playing exceptionally well this second half, so he's earned his chance to stay out there.
Milford's going to inbound it for the beginning of the fourth quarter. They're going to throw it down to Potter, who's going to find Tester down low, but La Salette is going to regain possession. John Bronner bringing the ball up the court. He's going to signal La Salette to set up the play. He's going to pass it down to Marco. John Bronner back up top again with the ball, trying to get something set up for the La Salette. Elijah Hall down low with a good aggressive play to get a layup.
Elijah tacks on another 2 for the Lions to make it 29-23.
Milford with the ball to Clutter, who sends it all the way across court to Potter, who takes a shot and misses.
Ryland with the steal, brings it down the court, but he's going to travel. And that's going to give the ball back to the Bearcats. Potter to inbound, Cluter bringing it up the court. John Bronner picks him up, but then the pass out to Torbay. Torbay bringing it to the middle. Potter cuts in. Cluter's wide open on the other side of the court, but they pass it to the right side to Vogel. Cluter steps behind the three-point line. His shot's far off, and it's going to be a turnover off the rebound. No one could get their hands on it. It's going to be La Salette ball.
Ryland inbounds it to John Bronner, who takes the ball past the 10-second line and sets up the play for La Salette. Marco Cruz down low, throws back up to John Bronner, who near loses the ball, but regains possession and gets it to Sean Holman down low, who took a shot and missed.
That was disappointing that the Lions couldn't finish off that play. That was a good play. They drew one of the defenders off balance and he fell down, so it was a 5-on-4, and then Bronner passed it to Marco, who was open, but then they moved the ball to Holman and he couldn't finish. It was really too bad because we had that advantage, you know, the power play, but if I can say that in basketball, I guess, but, you know, nothing happened. And then on the other side of the court just now, Milford's shot is no good.
John Bronner now again with the ball up top. Marco Cruz down in the corner, who gives it back to Ryland. Ryland finds Bronner. Marco Cruz finds Bronner down by the free throw line, but Marco Cruz across the court.
La Salette's going to get the ball now under their own hoop. Or I'm sorry, under the Milford hoop. Subs come into the game. Ian Whitehead for La Salette coming in for Sean Holman, and then number 35 Butler comes in as well.
Ryland inbounds the ball to Bronner, who at the top of the arc finds Ryland again. John Bronner drives in for the jump shot, but just misses off the rim.
Kluter drives and draws John Bronner into a screen. And there's going to be a foul called as Runner was driving in to the hoop. It was too bad because Elijah swatted his shot. His shot doesn't matter, of course. And Milford's going to call a 30-second timeout now with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Lions up still, 29-23. There hasn't been a whole lot of scoring. This fourth quarter, only one shot, in fact, made by the Lions and none by Milford. The Lions are going to come out of the timeout now. They've been coming out of the timeouts quicker than the other team this whole game, which is unusual. Normally, we're waiting on La Salette to come out to restart play. Milford's going to get the ball under the Lions' hoop, so they're close to being able to score. The inbounds pass comes into Runner. He drives in and draws the foul on Elijah for reaching in. Elijah Hall has 4 fouls now. He needs to be careful. He's about to foul out.
Ryland passes to Whitehead, but just off the hands of Whitehead, out of bounds. Which will result in Milford's ball.
Runner inbounds from the side for Milford. Referee takes his time to get the ball to him. Ryland tips that ball away, and it's going to stay with Milford, of course, as Brown was the last one to touch it. Kluter's going to inbound. The Lions set up their defense. Kluter passes in to Vogel. He gets it right back and shoots a deep three. He makes that. That's his second time that he shot from way downtown and made it. Score now 29-26, 3.5 minutes left.
Ryland drives into the net, doesn't find the play, and we'll bring it back up to John Bronner, who again finds Ryland, who dishes it down low to Whitehead. Bronner down in the corner now, finds Nicholas, but off Nicholas Kellerman's hands and Milford's ball.
Potter takes a three of his own. That's no good. Elijah rebounds it. He's taking it down the court quickly. Puts it up and in. That's good for 2. Score 31-26. That's not ideal that we have Elijah bringing it down the floor, but it worked there. Runner sees Kluter cutting through but doesn't pass to him. Now Kluter gets it in the corner for three. No good. Elijah pulls down the rebound. John Bronner brings up the court now with 2.5 minutes left in the game. Lions up by 5.
Whitehead down in the corner tries to pass it to Nicholas Kellerman, but is intercepted by Milford.
Torbe passes right back into the hands of Whitehead, who swats it out of bounds. Milford's coach calls a timeout. The Lions definitely need to watch Kluter. He's definitely going to start taking some more threes as this game winds down because he's been making them, and he knows that he's one of the best players on the Milford JV team. So if the Bearcats are going to score, he's going to need to take the shots so the Lions can really hone in on covering him. At the same time, they really need to watch their fouls. Elijah, of course, has 4 fouls. He needs to be careful. And it's, of course, at least a 2-position game with the Lions in a 5-point lead. And if the Lions need any other advantages, they also have the possession arrow in their favor. I guess they could have one more advantage, which would be to be in the bonus, but neither team's in the bonus yet. Referee calls for the teams to come out on the court. The Lions bring it in, followed by Milford. I can't help but commenting on how much stronger the Lions looked coming out of the timeout, you know, with their cheer. They were really loud, and Milford barely had a cheer at all, but I guess that's up to the team to set that. Kluter's 3 is no good, but Vogel was right there to grab the rebound and put the layup up. No one was boxing him out. I think maybe the players were just expecting that was going to go in since his last 2 had gone through. Kluter comes off his feet, which creates an opening for Marker to pass to Bronner. Ryland dribbles into traffic and dishes it off down low to Nicholas Kellerman, who puts up a layup to even out the lead again at 5 points. John Bronner works around the screen. Set by Milford. A 3 taken by Potter. No good. Vogel driving down low. He gets his shot blocked by a combination of Kellerman and Elijah. Ryland's bringing it down the court now. Shoots up and over. He's going to get 2 points. Lines up by 7 now, 35-28 with a minute left. Potter looking threatening again from the corner, but he drives baseline. The pace of play is definitely picked up a lot since that last timeout, and I think Nicholas Kellerman got a lot of hand there on that last block, but the referees didn't call anything. But then Marco's going to get called for the travel in the Lions' own half, and they're going to give the ball back to the Bearcats. 47 seconds left. The Bearcats are going to have to work fast to surpass the Lions' lead. Salette can definitely play more calm and controlled as the ball goes out of the hands of Potter. The Lions can eat up a lot of clock on this possession. Ryland Taw telling Bronner to slow things down. Kluter comes to cover Bronner, and Potter's covering Marco. Ryland looking, finds Kellerman. Vogel was coming in hard, and I don't think Kellerman saw him, but Vogel hit his arm, so it's going to be a foul. (35-28) with 38 seconds left. Lions into a inbounds play, and there's going to be a foul called. We're not a foul, just a warning on Milford for crossing the out-of-bounds line when covering the inbounds play. That happens a lot when the games come down to the wire and the team has to get whatever edge they can. They try and steal the inbounds pass, and they'll get called for that violation a lot. John Bronner dribbling around Kluter and Vogel. 30 seconds left, and it seems like the Milford coach gets it wrong for the first time with signaling possession. The referee said that it stayed with Salette.
Ryland Tall inbounds it to Elijah, who just slipped through his fingers. But Milford actually hit it out, so it'll be Sallette's ball out of bounds again. Ryland looking for a pass, finds Nicholas Kellerman, who brings it back up to Marco, who's going to dribble around with it. John Bronner down on the outside. Finds Elijah, but Elijah is fouled.
That's number 40, Vogel, with the foul. 15.9 seconds left. Lions up by 7. They just need to hold the ball in this last possession. But there's going to be almost a 5-second violation called, but Father Carlisle calls a timeout just in time to save possession for the Lions. It seems like that's a little bit unnecessary because it seems like even if the Lions turn it over there's not much Milford can do in as little time as possible, but anything can happen. All that Salette needs to do is get the ball in, dribble around a little bit, maybe get a shot off, and that should eat up enough clock time to force Milford into maybe taking one last second shot before the game ends. Both teams come out of the huddle now. Ryland Todd walking over to the ref to grab the ball to inbound. Runners covering him. We'll see what he can do as Ryland gets the ball in successfully to Elijah. Marco with it now, dribbling up top. 3 players converge on him. And Marco got a pass into Kellerman, but that's okay because there is a foul called on Tourbay. 7 seconds left. Ryland to inbound again. 7 seconds and a 7-point lead. Nicholas Kellerman comes out to get the ball, and he's going to get fouled. That was a pretty loud smack as Potter was just trying to foul Kellerman so that they can try and maybe force the bonus, which they do. Milford will get the ball back for sure, unless Elijah or maybe Ryland can come up with an offensive rebound. Kellerman's first shot is good. He recovers from his 2 that he missed earlier in the game, so he's going to get to shoot another one. He's going to have the chance to put the Lions up by 9, and he does. His second one goes in nice and easy. Now Kluter's going to bring it up. He's going to shoot from deep and just off, but no good. The Lions JV is going to come away with another win. Final score 37-28. Saw a lot of great play from the Lions. They didn't get frazzled. They stayed in control and played calm, so really great to see. Thanks for watching tonight's game. Please stay tuned for the varsity game, which is going to come on in a little under a half hour. It's going to be at 7:30 Central, but until then, I'm Kevin Quigley with Seamus Hanlon. Have a good night.